Welcome to the Future of Real Estate, your chance to find out what's going on in real estate and the real estate market. This morning show is brought to you by the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. RE/MAX is award winner for most transactions in Florida.
With the Ellis team at RE/MAX, it's a family affair. Always call the Ellis team, they'll handle you with care.
Welcome back to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis of the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. It's that time of year again when we're releasing our annual State of the Market report. We gave you a county overview in our first two segments. A lot of information there, but what we're doing now is we're breaking down some of the sub-markets. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the Fort Myers, Estero, and Bonita markets. And that's what we're going to focus on in this segment. Now, if you want to see how the prices did on average, up or down, if you go to our State of the Market report on page 9, and that can be found at www.topagent.com. You can look at, for instance, I'll read them off to you here real quick. Central Fort Myers was down 70% in average price. Bonita Estero was down 35.92. I'll explain what these mean in a minute because they don't mean exactly what you think they might mean. But East Fort Myers, we're not going to cover that in this segment. What do we have? Southeast Fort Myers down about 35.89. Southwest 34.6. So that's where you can find it on page 9. But if you go over to page 25 and 26, I want to start here with Southwest Fort Myers. And let's really zoom in and take a look at what's going on here. Now, you can find out, remember, those prices I was reporting were year over year, 2009 versus 2008. And a lot of the prices fell year over year. But let's look at where we started in the month of January and where we ended up. In January, we started about 189 in the median, and we ended up higher than that at like 193. So we can say that prices actually rose, 169 to 183. So the prices did go up about 14,000 in Southwest Fort Myers. But what you're going to read in the headlines is they went down 35%. And that's true year over year, but not month over month. And same thing with the median price. It went up as well. So if you look at, we had record activity in Southwest Fort Myers as well. It's kind of fun to take a look at some of the highs and lows. Before we do that, we'll look at the month of supply of inventory. Last year, we reported it was 21.5 months. It's down to 8.63 months. So if you're bidding on properties and you're wondering why properties are selling so fast or there's multiple offers, this is probably why. Now, let's look at maybe a couple of the highs and lows. The highest price we could find in Southwest that sold was $2.897 million over on Calco Drive. Pretty impressive looking home. Of course, usually the highs are. And here's the low over on 6th Avenue. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home for $9,000 in Southwest. Okay? So if you look at the highest price listing right now, it's $14.9 million over on Conover Court. It's over 8,800 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 8 baths. Very impressive looking listing. Now, if you look at the lowest priced on the market over on Johnson Street for $18,900. It's a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, 829 square feet, but $18,900. Kind of a nice home. So that's the overview of Southwest Fort Myers. Let's turn to Southeast Fort Myers, and we're going to go back a couple pages in the market report. And here's what's going on in terms of price. So prices look like they went up as well by month. Where we started in January and where we ended up, if we zoom in, I'll tell you exactly. We started at $134,950. We ended at $140. On the median, $181 went to $208. So pretty good news in terms of price for Southeast. Even though you're going to see the media report, it was down like 35% kind of range. Refer back to page 9 and you'll see that. Home sold, another record year for Southeast Fort Myers. Very impressive sales numbers. Let's look at the month supply of inventory. That's always interesting to look at. And it fell from 19.25 down to 7.88. We'll share with you a couple of the highs and lows on the next page. And I think we've got those right here. Those are the highest sale we could find was $3.1 million over on Via Lombardia Court. 4-bedroom, 6-bath home over 5,400 square feet. The lowest sale we could find was for $17,000 over on Holly Road. That's in the San Carlos area. 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 680 square feet. There's a picture of it there. So that's the lowest sale, Southeast Fort Myers. The highest listing right now is also on Via Lombardia Court. One at 104011 sold for 3.1. The highest listing is at 6.35. Very impressive looking home. Can't tell you whether it's worth 6.35 or not, but it's out there. And if you're a 6.35 looking buyer, you might want to look at that home. If you're a $29,000, $900 buyer, we've got one on Lobelia in the MLS. That's also in the San Carlos Park area. Remember, we're focusing only on Southeast Fort Myers right now. Let's turn our attention now, while we're at it, to Central Fort Myers. And Central Fort Myers was kind of up and down. And I'm going to go to page 22 of our report so you can kind of see there, okay? Now, look, when I say up and down, prices, average was kind of up and down. Median started going up. So prices really kind of went up drastically from where they started. They started at $23,000 in January and ended up in the 70s and whatnot. And then they kind of bounced around, believe it or not. Sales were kind of up and down. There weren't a lot of sales. 11 in January, 22 in February. The high was 53 back in June. So here's an overview on each of these pages. You kind of see what's going on. We've got a graph we haven't been talking about much about, but it's the median sales price versus the average sales price. Let's look at month supply of inventory. It went down from about 30 months down to 7.45. So we'll look quickly. We've got a home that sold for $2,200 over on Jeffcott. The lowest listing right now is $1,000 over on Pearl. The highest active listing is 5.695 over in Gasparilla. The highest close is 875 the river over in Valencia Way. I want to turn our attention now to Bonita and Estero. And that's on page 32 of our report, which you can find at www.topagent.com. And here is what's going on in the Bonita Estero area. Look at prices. We reported them down year over year, but basically they were down a little bit, looks like, even monthly, but they're holding fairly steady. If I zoom in a little bit, they started the year at about 273, and they ended at about 230. So they are down a little bit on the median price. Average started at 354, down to about 314. Although the number of homes sold, as those prices came down, the homes sold really went up. So sales are booming in Bonita and Estero. I want to look at the month supply of inventory. It went from 4 years down to just slightly over 1 year. So it fell almost by a fourth of what it was. Let's look at some of the highs and lows. The highest closed sale we could find in the Bonita area or Estero was $3.625 million. Nice home on Woodland Drive, 4 bedrooms, 5 baths, almost 7,000 square feet of living area. McKenna Avenue has the lowest sale, $19,000. 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Kind of interesting to look at that. And let's look at what we've got here. The highest waterfront is a property on Hickory Boulevard for $4.99 million. I've been down by this property, pretty nice property right there at the beach. And then you've got another property, the lowest listing, Robin Way, 2 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,100 square feet, and that's coming in at $33,250. That looks more like a townhome kind of thing to me, but $33,250. That's your Fort Myers, that's East, South, West, Central, and Bonita and Estero State of the Market Report update. And keep in mind, you can go to topagent.com and you can download all the updates, or you can watch the video of all the areas of the county. You can always go to topagent.com and click on the entire report and look at it all for yourself. It's all right there for the taking. You've been watching The Future of Real Estate presented by the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group. Our phone number is 239-489-4042, and our website is topagent.com, and we'll be right back.